sister star weighing 1,000 pounds. Despite the fact that Amy Slayton appears to be in a better mood than ever before, it is possible that she harbors a darker side. Amy is a Scorpio, which is a sign that is more vindictive than others. The astrological natal chart of Amy reveals a significant amount of gloom. There is a significant amount of volcanic activity hidden beneath the bright blue hair and cheery smile. Because of this, Amy uses posts that are just somewhat obscure in order to convey all of the feelings that are roiling inside of her. It is imperative that these deep feelings be expressed in some way. By using TikTok, she is able to unleash her wrath on her adversaries without naming them. This is a very passive-aggressive method of conveying her message. There is nothing wrong with Amy. No one is advocating for that. To tell you the truth, Amy Slayton, who is legally blind and who assists her sister Tammy Slayton, is actually quite great. Nevertheless, she has the impression that the men in her life have wronged her, which is the reason why the proud woman from Kentucky, Amy, appears to take pleasure in calling out her former partners through some fairly damning cryptic remarks. Whether she is condemning Michael Halterman for being a father or secretly letting the world know that Kevin was the worst partner a woman could ever have, it is all too easy to grasp the hidden messages that she is sending. Over there, Amy recounts a heartbreaking story about her romantic life. She is of the notion that she is drawn to actual scumbags who are struggling with major mental health issues. It is true that she did not exactly spell it out, but the message is unequivocally understood. She might as well write it in the sky. My previous guy was a complete and utter failure. Amy is having problems. Her relationship with Kevin did not continue, and it is likely that he is the objective of this situation. It would have been more appropriate for her to tell him in person how disappointing he was, but instead she took to social media and wrote in a humorous manner. All of the psychos are drawn to the yard because of my milkshake. It is time to give some information about Amy's astrological footprint, also known as her natal chart, in order to make all of this cryptic post-analysis more exciting. I find it to be really enlightening. These are her main placements, which are the ones that have the most significant impact on an individual. All of these aspects, when taken together, add to her personality, shedding light on what is going on inside of Amy, as well as the reasons that drive her. Sign of the Sun. A Scorpion. Sign of the Moon. The Capricorn. Mark of Venus. A Scorpion. Sign of Mars. The Libran. In the end, Scorpio is fundamentally about power and sexuality. In spite of the fact that Amy appears to be a good person, Scorpios are, on a fundamental level, deeply invested in managing other people in order to satisfy their own requirements. Exactly that is what they are. Malicious Scorpios such as Charles Manson went too far, committing murders essentially through the use of remote control. On the other hand, there are the more evolved Scorpios, sometimes known as white doves, such as Bill Gates, who went from being a vicious business raider to a selfless philanthropist. It appears that Amy still has some work to do because, according to the things, she continues to blame and shame others after her divorce. On the other hand, she is the one who feels mistreated in her own imagination. Explanations are not something that matter to Scorpios. It is war if someone fails to satisfy them for whatever reason, regardless of the reason. The propensity to view everything as a matter of life or death is a significant component of what gives Scorpios their identity. This is one of the most hostile and cryptic posts that Scorpio Amy has ever made. There are a lot of single mothers who have the feeling that they need to be fathers as well. They engage in all of the activities that the fathers performed before to the failure of their marriages, including, and not limited to, watching sports, playing video games, and other activities. However, there are moments when Amy fails to appreciate the incredible blessing that it is to have such a wonderful connection with both Goj and Glenn Halterman. There are times when fathers who do not take part in their children's lives are missing out on some of the most incredible experiences that their children have. To be a Singe mother means the proximity, adoration, comprehension amongst peers, a trip that is shared, hilarity. Michael was not the best husband, and he failed to live up to his responsibilities as a parent. Despite the fact that he committed mistakes, he most likely loved Amy, and he most certainly loves his children. It is quite risky to give orders to Scorpios, but he managed to exert influence over Amy. Authority figures are frequently reviled by them. The fact that Michael refused to allow Amy to use her own debit card was a clear example of him playing with fire. Didn't that turn out to be a good thing? Amy's moon sign is Capricorn, which is the reason for this. Those who have the moon in Capricorn have a tendency to be exceedingly chilly. They have objectives, and they are determined to see them through to completion no matter what. A genuine lack of compassion may be seen here. Amy will take action in response to Michael's refusal to allow her to possess a debit card if she enjoys shopping, and Michael does not want her to have one. In spite of the obstacle, she is going to overcome it. How was she able to accomplish that? Divorce is a final and deceptively straightforward way to put an end to a problematic partnership. Despite the fact that the ink on the papers has dried, there are still memories, concerns around co-parenting, and other things. Unless he is simply absent from his children's lives, a guy is still considered to be a part of the picture. To what extent Michael is actually in the picture is not entirely evident. As a Scorpio, Amy desired to regain her dominance. She desired to be the master of her own home. She can do so now. On the other hand, if she had been overly cruel, she might have been able to drive Michael away. It is necessary for their children to have a father. Due to the fact that Amy's moon is in Capricorn, she ought to check herself. At times, she ought to make an effort to be more lenient, less authoritative, and more accommodating. She will benefit from that. At first, Amy appeared to be quite content with Kevin. However, it appeared as though some uncertainty had slipped in. She stopped putting her faith in him. Perhaps he was genuinely trying to gain influence. It was too soon for her to bring him into her life, and she allowed him to get engaged in the lives of her children. There was most likely an error in this. Some things are holy and ought to be guarded from potential harm. The best course of action for Amy would be to wait until she has a deeper understanding of a man before introducing him to her children. They already have to deal with the fact that they come from a broken household, despite the fact that they receive a lot of affection. Amy's Venus is in the sign of Scorpio, which is the reason why she falls so quickly and with such force. Venus is the planet that reveals to us how we love, what we are attracted to, and who will be attracted to us, according to astrology. Amy is a double Scorpio because she is a Scorpio when it comes to love, and she loves like a Scorpio. Imagine a scorpion that has two tails rather than one in order to get a broad picture of what is going on. A Scorpio lady is almost unable to withstand the intensity of this situation, since it is a double dose of intensity. The location of her Mars in Libra is the only bright spot in this situation. This not only makes her more approachable, but it also lends her a touch of superficial appeal that ultimately goes a long way. A native with Mars in Libra is all about giving people precisely what they want to hear, and they excel at doing so. The way they are so endearing. Probably the reason why Amy is garnering so much popularity on the internet is because of the Mars in Libra attractiveness she possesses. She becomes more image-conscious as a result of it, as Libras are always looking to create a good impression. It should therefore come as no surprise that Amy dyes her hair, wears bright colors, and does other things. Because she has so much electric energy to control, the star of Sisters, who lost 1,000 pounds, is a firecracker. You can learn about her struggle to lose weight in the video that is located above. For her, it is difficult, and she may find that venting through passive-aggressive postings helps ease some of the strain. On the other hand, once she changes her behavior, it will be an indication that she is in full command of the situation. In that case, it would indicate that Amy has advanced to the next level. She overcame her resentment and effectively moved on with her life. Considering how happy she has been recently, it is probable that she is putting the posts from the past, which were only slightly cryptic, in the past behind her for good.